And real quick, before I go into work, I'm not about to let what Kanye said go over my head when he talked about the song that he dropped, Cousins, and what he did with his cousin. Some of y'all was like, some of the celebrities and stuff was applauding him for coming out and talking about his trauma. But really, all he did was talk about his cousin's trauma, because he said he did it up until he was 14, and he blamed himself for showing his 6-year-old cousin those magazines and reenacting what was in the magazines. So it sounded to me like Ye was the predator. Don't let that go over y'all head. Like these spasms he be having, he be going off and all that stuff. He probably got a guilty conscience of what he did to his cousin, or more, or maybe something was done to him, or I don't know. But that man really needs some help. But don't let it go over y'all head that he was the predator. He the one who was doing the dirt, because he showed his cousin at 6 years old. Lord have mercy. Y'all missed that. That went over y'all head.
Kanye West has been a very polarizing figure for a long time. You know, he's had a lot of albums. He's made great music. He's did a lot of beats for different people, right? And he's world renowned and known all over the world. But Kanye West, as all of us knew, he's been dealing with some demons for a long time, right? You know, we know that he talked a lot of this pro-black stuff. You got to be black first. And then he went and he married a Kardashian, right? He married a Kardashian. And when things didn't work out, he was upset. You know, he's on stage all over the world talking about his kids. We remember he ran for president. We remember he went on stage and snatched the microphone from Taylor Swift. Y'all remember when he said George was it George Bush, one of them, don't like black people. Like he was saying a whole, just doing his rants and saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff, right? But what some of us can see, but we didn't know, he was dealing with some real dark, heavy secrets. He's come out and saying that his mom was part of LGBT. Then he said that he found some books, right? He found some books, Playboy books in his father's bed, but then he found some Playboy books in his mom's room up in the closet, and they was basically LGBT stuff. And he turned around and practiced that on his 6-year-old cousin. Now, I'm doing this video because those of y'all, my hardcore followers and people that's been watching me, know that I've talked about this. I had one video called Black Boys, A Silent Cry in a Dark Room, right? I did that video some time ago, right? And I talked about how boys suffer in silence and nobody talks about it, right? But what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys listen to what Cameron and May said, and then I'm going to come right back.
Kanye one was crazy.
That was
crazy.
For sure.
I don't even know what to say. Some things you just got to stay out of. Pause. You got to stay out of that one.
Okay.
I just found out about the Kanye thing this morning when y'all guys brought it up. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah.
Could you update me?
Yeah, so for those who don't know,
because I didn't know.
I'm
covering my ears.
Yeah, Ye just posted a tweet basically saying that he released a new song called Cousin. It was about relations that he had with his male cousin. They were reading inappropriate things. They did the acts upon each other, and basically him saying after the fact that cousin got in some legal trouble, and he felt like he may have had something to do with it by telling them they could not participate in dirty things anymore with each other. So basically, they were sucking each other. Yeah.
They was what? like, yo, it's like, yo, let's go wild now because this man is popping. So now let's talk about when I was in time. Yo, I got nothing. Like I said, I respect the say they. I don't really like the people that's hiding it in the closet. That's what I'm saying. Come on, say that. That's what you doing. Cool. Kanye been in the public eye for at least going on 20 years, if not longer. Maybe 22, 23 years, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. And now, or had whatever the point be, shit ain't working. Everything he got going on ain't seem to been working. He had, and then he was about 3 weeks ago. Now he gonna do a song about it. It's just too convenient. See, and you know what I like what academics did, to be totally honest with you? What academics did was he filmed everything in that interview. Now imagine that interview would have started with Nation on. you'd be like, oh, this nigga Kanye is wild. He filmed when he came in. Kanye was a regular person. Hey, man, how you doing? What's happening? Cool? Let me go change and come back out. Now let me get the BA now. Then when he thought the interview was over and they stopped taping, he took a regular cool nigga. Go for some of this shit. Pause. If we didn't just see, and not that, when I'm around Kanye, I don't see nothing. I haven't been around him in years. Maybe like 3 years ago, I seen him for about an hour or two. But he's a regular guy that wanted to rap and did hot beats and so on and so forth. And he figured out a lane for himself. He started with snatching shit and paparazzi won his pictures, got around the right, made his celebrity grow and made their celebrity grow too. And, you know, I remember Dame talking about him, you know, he's bipolar, he don't be taking his medicine. I never knew this. I'm not saying he is, and I'm not playing with people who are bipolar, I get it. I just never seen around Kanye for a long time,
Nah, it just seemed like Ye going through a lot, you know.
Yes.
I think he's really just trying to, hopefully, I hope he's trying to find his way back to himself, but you gotta have the right people around you and things like that, because when something like this comes out, I reached out to a few people that I know used to be close to him, but they're no longer close to him, so I don't know really who's around. And I pray he make it back, because this is crazy. I wouldn't do all of this to sell music. I definitely wouldn't. Like what you were saying, I believe that's what's happening, but I definitely wouldn't do this to sell music.
We know you wouldn't do it. Do you believe he's doing it?
I definitely, but I think he's definitely using it to sell the music, and that's the sad part about it.
Yeah, and not only that, and listen, I want to get better too, but I'm going to start feeling sorry niggas in the projects where they don't like other projects, and this side of the project don't like that. You got to stay in that environment. Yeah, you can get on the flight and go anywhere. I'm not going to keep feeling sorry, change their circumstances. In certain circumstances, who can't change their circumstances, but we steady giving pity to niggas who could change their environment. I'm not doing it. I hope my man get his rent money that he need, because I gave it to him last month. Hopefully he'll get it again this month. It's situations like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I hope that it's another nigga I know. Last year, I helped his son pay for his tuition. It's another year. They have to pay for a tuition coming up this year. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna help out. But that's his kid. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't my man like that. You know, I do good because his son is good. I like his son a lot. But the point being is, it's type of situations.
Yeah.
We got to stop this.
Feeling sorry for no better.
Yeah.
I like that. I could go with that. That's where it becomes dangerous, because everybody that may be around may be just pushing them in the wrong direction, because it keeps them in control of whatever it is they got. And that it just seemed like it's going to be a very bad outcome. So I pray he finds somebody that he could talk to, somebody that, so he don't have to do all this on the internet, because the internet is unforgiving. So when he turns around, he's running out of those options. So where, you know, the first couple of times, like Cam said, people feel sorry, but after a while, the gig is up, man. We see what you're doing. It just won't work that way no more. And, you know, I got a lot of love for Ye, but I got to call black, you know what I'm saying?
Now, this topic is a sensitive topic for me. I don't like the black community's response when it comes to this. Now, I've never been, nobody ever touched me, but I know countless young men and girls who this has happened to. Now, I go into these youth study centers and I talk, and I hear these young men talk and tell their stories when they get vulnerable and drop their shoulders and they're able to talk, right? And you wouldn't understand, you wouldn't believe how so many of these young violent criminals have been touched, right? And I'm listening to the comments and everybody's making a joke. There's all kinds of memes. I seen one video where they were making a meme where you can hear like some gawk noises, and they said that's Kanye and his cousin. Like, because I'm gonna tell you something about our community. We have a lot of unresolved, undiagnosed issues, and instead of us really dealing with our pain, we make jokes about it. Everything is funny. I don't think that this is funny. If what he's saying is true, this is not funny because we know that it happens more than you understand. We talk about it when it comes to young girls, but when it comes to young boys, because boys don't really come tell their story, it happens more than what you can ever understand. I remember I went into adult prison, and they had for the state of Pennsylvania, and they said about 47% of men locked up for violent crimes had some form or have been touched before at a young age, or at some point some things happened to them. There was a young man that was locked up for 2 murders, and we got a chance to talk to him. And I asked him the question, what sparked a couple years ago when I made that video, when I made this video. I asked him, I said, well, at what point did it go wrong? And he said, well, when things was happening to me and I called out for help, nobody ever cared. Nobody came to save me, so why should I care about anybody else? That hit deep. That cut. So when I see Kanye acting up in the manner in which he's acting up, and this stuff is coming out, he's dealing with this guilt. He said this. He said, this song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked up in jail for life for unaliving a pregnant woman, a pregnant lady, a few days after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet was different. My name is Jay, and I blanked my cousins, you know what, till I was 14 years old. And it's something that I talk about all the time in our community that nobody wants to talk about. You don't want to talk about it at the church because it's going to expose the deacon and the pastors, right? You don't want to talk about it in the house because it may expose your uncle or your aunties, because yes, women do it too, right? So these are things that's just constantly swept under the rug. So now when something like this come out, everybody makes jokes about it because there's a lot of people that's suffering from this. But it's easy to make jokes about it, to make the pain go away, because you try to just put it behind you and never talk about it. But it comes out in your behavior. You manifest that pain through your behavior. You manifest that guilt through your behavior. And this is what Kanye is doing. This is why you see him acting out like this. And it's not just Kanye, it's you out there. Yeah, you watching me right now. You know what you've been through, right? And you never got help for it. You got a lot of undiagnosed issues, and it manifests in your behavior. So I felt important for me to do this video today because I know that there's a lot of people out there. There are a lot of people out there who has issues that need to be dealt with. Go get the help you need, man. Maybe Kanye saying this was a wake-up call for you to get the help that you need and stop running from your demons, man. Stop running from your demons. I take it personally because I work with young boys. I work with children, and I see this all. I see more than what you guys may see because you ain't doing what I'm doing. When we going into these youth prisons, when we having these man-to-man programs and these youth sit-downs, and these young men coming and they speak. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Stop thinking everything is a joke. This is not funny. All right? Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.